Welcome everybody back to the Rally Cry podcast. I'm your host Angel, and I just want to let you know on how honored I am and how much I appreciate of you guys trusting me to be able to come on here and just listen to me, to have the opportunity to have your ear, to all the growth that I've been able to encounter, right, through the people that has been on the show. Last year, man, I just continue to think about it, now that we're in January 2025, and about a day ago, I put on my story on Instagram about what do you guys want to see more of? And the three options usually is, effective communication skills, building relationships, or self-mastery, personal growth, right? And, although there was quite a few that picked pretty much all three of them, but majority of you guys asked for personal development, or more so personal growth, right? However you want to call it. I think I also reframe it by saying self-mastery, because self-mastery is so that you can master yourself and have control, right? That's how I would look at it, because you can't master your ultimate self, because at the end of the day, we're growing every single day. And it starts to have me think about what is self-mastery and what is personal growth and how do we get there. And I can only do so much when it comes to a professional standpoint, because everybody might have a subjective view on what is personal growth, and also for the fact that not everything applies to everyone. I think so many times we try to look for a blueprint so it's just easier to find, and if it's easier to find, it's easier to do. But just because it's easier to find doesn't mean it's necessarily true that will be easy to do, right? And I think about it for myself. Something that I would like to share that has worked for me is honestly what I've heard in many podcasts, many books, and it's to understand your purpose, right? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Because so often we're conflicted about what other people think of us. If someone says that I'm ugly, I'll be like, ah, I'm ugly, right? We're so consumed by other people's thoughts, but at the same time, we still don't care what people think. We choose on what we want to care about, right? Because if we really are head down about what we want to do, we'll be like, oh, I don't care what they say. Oh, it doesn't matter. Ah. And some people might be called ignorant for whatever it is that they believe in, right? They get so ignorant that it's almost like nothing can persuade them. But in other instances, we have moments where we want to believe what people are saying, or oh, they're calling me ugly, or we get mad because someone's calling us something, or maybe we're not enough or something, right? And the reason why I bring this up is because in order to be better with yourself is to be better literally with yourself. Just you. Don't care about anybody else, right? You have to take a little bit of consideration of what other people say. I'm not saying completely ignore people, right? Because there's some people out there that are actually coming with the right intentions, that actually want to help you and whatever that is, right? I want to let you know that you have to be able to know who you are and within your purpose. And you find your purpose through finding yourself, right? The purpose of, like, why am I here, or why is my life the way it is, right? You have to find reason to be going exactly where you want to go, in whatever direction that is. You have to believe it, right? I was going for a walk, and as I was going for a walk, I was just thinking about what what is it that we can do as an individual to continue growing, because at the end of the day, I'm still growing, and that's a forever thing, right? You're not going to reach a certain point in life where you're just completely satisfied with yourself, right? That doesn't necessarily happen, because we live in a universe that forever expands. And for that universe that forever expands, meaning that we're also expanding. We're always wanting to learn more, we're always wanting to do more, we always want new experiences, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people might think to themselves, is like, why do I feel like I'm not fulfilled yet? It's because sometimes when we try to look for things that fulfill us, we look for external things so much. Someone to validate us, someone to make us feel good, or things to make us feel good, or an event for us to feel good. Oh, I just need a vacation. But sometimes going on vacation and sometimes doing those things actually bring out more of the person that you really need inside, right? To be able to better yourself, you had to look inside. I say it so many times, I feel, but we need to understand that if we're gonna grow, if we wanna be happier, we have to go inside of what's really hurting us. Is it childhood traumas? Like, what is it really? We have to sit down with ourselves and ask ourselves these questions. Am I being triggered right now? Is this experience reminding me of my past somehow, like with my mom or my dad or my cousin or whoever, my brother, sister? There's always something that may trigger us or make us feel familiar to a feeling, right? And that's why we become reactive and then wonder why we're reactive. And I know it might sound like I'm going on a slight tangent, but being able to better yourself comes within, right? It doesn't mean someone else helping us. Yes, we can have conversations about it, and then it just is like a eureka moment, right? But all the steps that lead you to actual growth is the steps that you take, right? We're so conflicted about, oh, maybe it's hearing the right thing and stuff like that, but you can hear the right thing but still not do anything. So I hope that whoever is listening, if you're cooking, if you're driving, right? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, if you're watching me right now on this beautiful background, which I'm absolutely grateful for, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, I hope you're getting something from this. To know that personal growth comes from right now. Like right now, why not? What do I got to lose but time, and just go and do it? Because we get conflicted with the fact of like, yes, go do it, but what am I gonna do? And I would really encourage you just to sit there in silence by yourself. And if you want to even be more creative, then write in a book. Talk about how you feel or how you've been feeling, or where do you want to go or be in life to feel this way, right? We think about, oh, if I had this, I will feel better. Okay, if you had that and you feel better, write about it. Write it down real quick. This year, I've been telling myself that I want to be more intentional. And the best way that we could be intentional about the things that we do is when we could write it down on paper, because we're putting focus on something. We're putting our words that are in our heads into focus on a paper so that we can write it down in a physical form. What we thought about wasn't even reality until we brung it down on paper. Now it's physical. Now it's a reality. Now the next step is just about believing in yourself, right? We could always be like, oh, that's not true, that doesn't make sense, etc., etc., etc. But if you really wanted to choose to believe something, wouldn't you just believe it? Even if it sounds absurd, like, oh, there's no way this wouldn't happen, right? Don't be ignorant about certain things. Just believe it. Don't you want to believe that you could be successful? Yes, everybody have circumstances. I absolutely understand that. But for whatever it is, the little bit of things that actually could make you happy, wouldn't you want to believe that? Right? Wouldn't you believe that you're more than enough? Wouldn't you want to believe that you're good enough? Wouldn't you want to believe that you're capable? Wouldn't you want to believe that maybe if you're not capable, that you'll be able to make someone else capable? That's the big thing. One thing that I'll leave you with is that if you really want to be happy, everything comes within. But also, if you're able to help someone else from within and make them feel happy, you'll feel happy. Matter of fact, there's studies that show that actually people that are depressed, that help other people that are depressed, the person that got helped from the other person feels less depressed. Because we are human creatures by society, right? I was tripping up on my words almost, because it's just the excitement that I get, that we as individuals love connecting with people. We grow together. Like, think about technology and how that expanded, right? I don't want to go on a tangent on it, but the point is that when you help someone else feel good, you feel good, because what you give is what you get. And that might sound funny to say because you probably heard of that before, but it's exactly true. It's literally true. And when you start realizing that some things that you say to yourself is actually literal, then you'll start realizing of the things that you say to yourself, so you don't put yourself down. Because sometimes we self-reject ourselves than anyone else will. We'll look at something, be like, I can't do that. Oh, no, there's no way. And we doubt ourselves. But I'm telling you right now, whoever it is that has doubted you, and even if you doubted yourself, I want you to go look in that mirror. Or you want to take a minute and sit down with yourself and right now and tell yourself and say, I can and I will. And I guarantee you will go somewhere. It just starts with an attitude, and then a behavior, and then a character. And then after that, it'll lead you to where you want to be. All you gotta do is believe. So I hope you guys got something from this. I try to make these episodes a little bit quicker because I realize that you guys love them. And 2025 is gonna be an awesome one. I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and let's just keep on growing together. And until next time, you guys be easy. Peace.